It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
The Speed Station welcomes you to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada for live coverage of the Winter Heat NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Pennzoil All-Star Race. In the race analysis, today's All-Star Open and All-Star Race have quite interesting formats. The Open race essentially takes place of a qualifying session for those who have to make the field. Now, the 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race winners are all locked into today's event, which is 24 different winners from the 2021 season. That means 24 guaranteed starters. The feature event of today's races is the All-Star Race itself, and that will have 42 starters. So that means the Open will qualify 18 drivers in. Of the pole and stage winners, that equals 24 different competitors as well. So essentially think of this as any average Camping World Truck Series race, but there is 48 trucks on the entry list trying to make 42 spots. Now, there was no single truck qualifying session to set the starting grid of the Open, nor for the All-Star Race. All of that has been randomized, so the Open race being random, as well as the All-Star Race being a random starting grid. However, the Open and race have a separate relationship. Because it is a randomized starting grid for both the All-Star Open and All-Star Race, but once the top 18 from the Open transfer into the All-Star Race, they will start in order of their finishing position from the Open, from positions 25th down to 42nd in the All-Star Race itself. So a little bit of a confusing format, but believe me, it will start to simplify out once we see it in action. First up, we have the Open race, which is a race of pole and stage winners. The stages consist of a caution on lap number 26, concluding stage number 1, and setting up a 10-lap dash to the finish. If you win stage number 1, you get $10,000. And if you win the All-Star Open race itself, that is a $100,000 bonus. And that $100,000 up for grabs for just the winner of the Open is a whole lot more than you'd ever get for qualifying on pole for a conventional Camping World Truck Series race. And that actually only places you 25th in the starting grid for the All-Star Race. The top 18 finishers from the All-Star Open will transfer into the feature race. Now, the top 24 starters of the All-Star Race itself will be a randomized starting grid, but 25th back to 42nd will be in order of your finishing position from the Open race. 6 trucks will miss the Pennzoil All-Star Race, as we have 48 trucks here attempting to make 42 spots. And in particular, because the DNQ race only falls down to the Open drivers, that means that we have 24 drivers vying for 18 spots in the upcoming Open. Now, to move on to just the All-Star Race itself, once we have all the Open and things like that completed, the 2021 race winners of the Camping World Truck Series season are the drivers who are locked in, that being the 24 predetermined starters of the All-Star Race. There are 3 stages or segments, whatever you want to call them, for the Pennzoil All-Star Race. Lap 33 is the end of Stage 1, lap 66 is the end of Stage 2, and then that sets up a 10-lap dash to the finish at the conclusion of lap number 80. You get $20,000 for a stage victory, so that means you could earn as much as $40,000 if you sweep the first 2 stages, and it is $500,000 for the race victory in the Pennzoil All-Star Race. That is a tremendous prize for any NASCAR Camping World Truck Series team. There is one stipulation to that prize money. If a NASCAR Cup Series regular wins the prize, it will go to a charity of their choice. But just to sum up the format in a little bit more concise terms, this upcoming Open race, 40 laps, 10-lap dash to the finish. Whoever wins the race gets $100,000, and the top 18 finishers from this Open race move on to the All-Star Race. The bottom 6 finishers go home pretty much empty-handed. Then from there, the All-Star Race itself, 80 laps, $500,000 for the winner. The starting grid will be composed of a randomization of the 24 winners of Camping World Truck Series races this season. Then from 25th back to 42nd, we have the 18 drivers who transferred from the Open race. Now, this is a postseason exhibition race out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but here's just a look at the point standings following the championship race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway just a few weeks ago. Matt Crafton won his record-tying fourth championship in the number 88 Toyota Tundra at Thor Sport Racing. Casey Mears came up just a little bit short of the championship, taking home a second-place finish in the points standings. Grant Enfinger third place in points, and Ben Rhodes rounding out your championship four. As you can tell, three of those four being Thor Sport contenders. The best of the rest driver was Stuart Friesen in his very own number 52 truck. Christian Eckes brought home a sixth-place finish in points after actually being eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. Then the 31 of Ty Dillon got a seventh-place finish in points. Timothy Peters in the 87 for Nemco got eighth position in points. Ty Gibbs ninth in his first and appears to be only full-time Truck Series season. And Brennan Poole climbed his way all the way up to 10th in drivers' points at the conclusion of the season at Atlanta. And then you can take a look farther back through the point standings, 11th down through 20th, and then next 21st through 40th. And as you can tell, just like the NASCAR Cup Series, the Camping World Truck Series had a very competitive season. First, all the way down to 39th in point standings, led at least one lap on the season, and 24 overall winners, which is why we have such a big automatic starting grid of tonight's Pennzoil All-Star Race, as we had 24 different winners on the season, which is more winners than we had races last year. And like I mentioned in the race analysis, the starting lineup for the Open was not determined through single truck qualifying or anything like that. This is, in fact, a random drawing. And through the randomization, Ryan Unziker, the dirt racing ringer who won a stage earlier on this season, has drawn the pole spot for the Pennzoil All-Star Open. Cameron Haley in the 00 truck will start in second. And it's important to note that because of all the All-Star trucks in the Camping World Truck Series, such as Kyle Busch Motorsports' number 51, Starcom Speed Station's 53, Nice Motorsports' trucks, and the 24 at GMS Racing, there was quite a few drivers who were either locked in or involved in this race who earned their seat through one of the All-Star trucks. And so that means that certain teams had to bring additional trucks and entries to Las Vegas Motor Speedway to give their drivers a chance to compete, which is why Ryan Unziker is in the 54 truck, but that is actually a Nice Motorsports truck. The 00 of Cameron Haley is a Starcom Speed Station truck. Mike Marlar, another dirt race ringer, is starting in the third position. He's in an additional truck out of Hill Motorsports, so he is the teammate to the 56 of Timmy Hill. Then we have yet another dirt racing ringer, Gio Selzy, the pole sitter from the Bristol Motor Speedway dirt race, rolling off in the fourth position. Brett Moffitt in the 45 truck for Nice Motorsports will start from 5th. Zane Smith in the 21 will start from 6th. Parker Kligerman in 7th position. Timmy Hill in 8th spot. Carson Hocevar in 9th, and Danny Bone starting from the 10th position. And the 29 truck is not a Brad Keselowski racing entry. That is an additional entry from On Point Motorsports, as they had two drivers win, so the 30 and 03 trucks are locked into the All-Star race. They brought out a third truck with Danny Bone after he won a stage earlier this season to try and make the Pennzoil All-Star race. Looking back through the 24 truck starting grid, we also have the 24 of Justin Haley, the 09 of Stefan Parsons, the 46 of Chandler Smith, the number 15 of Sam Mayer. That is an additional entry out of Tony Stewart Racing. That is not a number 15 entry from Larson Gilliland Racing. Chase Purdy will roll off from the 15th position in the number 26 for GMS Racing. The number 20, which is a Kyle Busch Motorsports entry, will be driven by Brandon Jones, and he will start from the 16th position. Todd Gilliland will roll off in 17th spot in the 38 truck for Front Row. Tony Stewart driving his own number 14 truck after winning a stage at Bristol on the dirt track. He will roll off in 18th position. Spencer Davis in the 11 truck will start from 19th spot. Derek Kraus in the number 19 truck will roll off in 20th. Jordan Anderson in the 3 truck will start from 21st. Austin Terrio in the 92 will start from 22nd. Will Rogers in the number 40 truck for Nice Motorsports will start from 23rd. And rounding out the field in an additional Starcom Speed Station truck, the number 35 of Tim Richmond. And so now, to get this All-Star Open race underway, let's head down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
I'm up in the center of 1 and 2 up here, so as you're going down the back stretch into 3, it may appear to me that they're inside, but they may be just shy of that. I'll really try to stay on top of that all night, bud.
And off of the fourth corner, the pace car ducks onto pit road. Ryan Unziker in the 54 for Nice Motorsports leads the field onto the front straightaway. Flagman has the green flag in hand, and there it is. We are now underway for the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Open. Unziker gets a nice start. Not so nice, though, for a fellow dirt racing ringer. The 66 of Mike Marlar already getting put 4 wide by Parker Kligerman down on the inside. As the field heads out of the second corner, 75 truck all the way down on the bottom for Henderson Motorsports. Trying to force it in there. Left side's on the white line. As the 50 truck of Gio Selzy drops back after the first lap. 1 and 2 on the starting grid are 1 and 2 at the start-finish line at the conclusion of lap number 1. Unziker out in front of the field above Cameron Haley in the 00 as Haley now looks up to the outside using that high line momentum, or at least trying to take advantage of it. Farther back, you can see the 45 truck of Brett Moffitt has taken over the third position. 56 actually made contact with the 46 of Chandler Smith. Smith and Timmy Hill got a little bit physical right there, and we will keep the scoring monitor on the battle for the top 18, because remember, 18th position marks the cutoff for the transfer spots into the All-Star race. Out in front of this field, we still have, impressively, Ryan Unziker out in front of the 00 of Cameron Haley, then the 45 of Brett Moffitt. Mike Marlar still holding on to 4th, and the battle for 5th continues between Chandler Smith and Carson Hocevar. At the start-finish line, though, last time by, the final transfer position was held by the 19 of Derek Kraus. This time by, we had a lot of shuffling throughout the field. It was held by the 38 of Todd Gilliland. You can see down on the inside, Gio Selzy now making his way around. The 42 of Hocevar at least trying to make the move happen. Out in front of the field, we still have the 54 and 00 trucks. As look at the 00 of Haley using up the outside line. Getting a run on the 54 as Ryan Unziker got a little bit loose on the exit of the fourth corner. At the line, I believe it was the 00 to lead the lap. Scoring gives it to Cameron Haley. And through turns 1 and 2, 54 truck back down to the inside, trying to use the short way around, and he makes it stick. Ryan Unziker back to the lead. 45 truck, his teammate, Brett Moffitt, though, getting the run in, making the look down to the bottom. He backs off a little bit early, taking a shallow entry down to the corner, loses his momentum, falls back to 3rd. Mike Marlar doing a great job in the 4th position. We have quite a few trucks trying to make their way through this field because of the randomized starting grid, including the 20 of Brandon Jones marching his way up towards the front, the 14 of Tony Stewart, and the 38 of Todd Gilliland. The last transfer position was held that time by the 40 of Will Rogers. Here comes the 00 down to the bottom of the 54 of Ryan Unziker. Side by side they go through turns 3 and 4. Off of the fourth corner, that's Mike Marlar taking over the 3rd position as the 00 will lead at the start-finish line. Right now, the last place truck is the number 35 of Tim Richmond as the 00 pulls up in front of the 54 of Ryan Unziker off of the second corner. Unziker not quite giving up, though, trying to reel that 00 truck back in. Here's the 29 of Danny Bone up in the top 10, getting a good run going so far in the 3rd On Point Motorsports entry. As I mentioned earlier, the 30 of Brendan Poole won at Milwaukee. The 03 of Scott Legassi Jr. won at Watkins Glen. So the 2 primary trucks at On Point Fields are locked in to the feature coming up just after this open race. But here comes another battle for the lead. 54 truck down to the bottom of the 00 of Cameron Haley. Haley trying to use that high side momentum through turns 3 and 4. 45 truck goes a little bit too wide. You see, almost made contact with the wall. 42 and 50 trucks actually doored each other off of the fourth corner. And Ryan Unziker back to the point here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here comes the 00, though, back down to the inside. And he makes a little bit of contact right there into the left rear quarter panel of Ryan Unziker. Here comes Cameron Haley back down to the bottom. And once again into the lead as they almost go 3 wide for 2nd. Brett Moffitt backs out, and impressively, Mike Marlar up to the 2nd position. Now challenging Cameron Haley for the top spot. He goes down to the bottom looking for the lead. As we conclude lap number 9, here comes the 56 truck down to the bottom. Very shallow corner entry as the 00 powers past using that highline momentum. Last time by, the final transfer position was held by the 3-time Cup Series champion of Tony Stewart. Up on the outside, Unziker back into second position. And Gio Scelzi loses the front end a little bit right there coming off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, you can see the field running pretty much in one glob at the moment. Nobody's lost sight of the leaders at this point. There goes the 50 truck sliding up the racetrack, once again getting tight in the center of the corners once the truck gets right up in front of him. Oh, there's contact. The 29 of Danny Bone goes around, gets hit by the 24. Chandler Smith involved, Will Rogers involved, and the caution flag waves on lap number 11. The yellow flag is out. The 00 of Cameron Haley was your leader back to the start-finish line. 54 of Ryan Unziker second. 45 of Brett Moffitt in third. 50 of Gio Scelzi fourth, and the 66 of Mike Marlar in the fifth position. Very impressive for those dirt racing ringers to be maintaining top 5 runs at the moment. But you want to talk about a big mover. The 38 of Todd Gilliland has already made his way up to 9th, and Tony Stewart into 10th. And so here's what happened to bring out the caution flag down the back straightaway. You can see the 29 truck of Danny Bone moving up, 26 of Chase Purdy going down, and those two just hook. Kind of circumstantial right there. It brings the 29 truck of Bone up into the 42 of Carson Hocevar and around. Kind of an impressive move right there for the 26 truck to be hanging out 30-some degrees sideways and catch it. But then the 24 of Justin Haley gets involved, plowing into the 42. Stefan Parsons gets a little bit of right side damage right there on the 09 machine. Kligerman he actually missed it. Kligerman missed the incident. But then the 46 truck of Chandler Smith has nowhere to go, piles into the 42 of Hocevar. Then the 40 of Will Rogers comes along and also has nowhere to go and gets into the 46 of Chandler Smith. The 3 truck of Jordan Anderson also damaged in this crash down the back straightaway. And then the 40 truck also got turned back up into the outside wall by the 24 of Justin Haley. And so here was the crash in real time down the back straightaway. 29 truck gets clipped right there, up into the outside wall. And then trucks just pile in from there. A 5, possibly 6 truck accident down the back straightaway and into turn 3. But then, folks, this right here was just unnecessary. This is after the field has already taken the caution flag. You see right there, the 19 truck very far from the outside wall, kind of lists down into the 20 of Brandon Jones, sends Jones into the number 11 of Spencer Davis. Jones then gets turned around by the 11 of Davis, makes slight contact with the inside wall, but he's sliding up right in front of traffic now. Here comes the 15 of Sam Mayer, the second truck for Tony Stewart Racing, into the shot, and makes very hard contact with the driver's side of the number 20 machine, almost turning him over. But then the 15 truck gets slammed by the 3 of Jordan Anderson, actually sending Sam Mayer upside down with a very slow roll off of the banking. This is, believe it or not Sam Mayer's first flip of the season, but definitely one of the most unexpected ones coming under the caution flag. A very unfortunate break, though, for all the drivers involved in this one, because this looks like it has ended easily the 20, 15, and 3 trucks' chances of advancing into the All-Star race. And this time by, on lap number 12, the 09 of Stefan Parsons opts to come down pit road. It looks like not very many other takers. And then behind him is the rest of the severely damaged trucks, including Hocevar, Anderson, as well as the 29 of Danny Bone and the 40 of Will Rogers. You should definitely not have to make a pit stop over the course of this race. It's only 40 laps, but still it is an option on the table if, let's say, we get to the end of this first stage. It may be a smart idea to put on tires then. Maybe not 100% smart, but it might give you enough of a tire advantage to get your way possibly to a better finish than what you would have had beforehand. I don't think any of the leaders would chance it, but if you're running, 10th on back, I'd say it's a worthy gamble. And, considering that this race is the battle to make the All-Star race itself, even though only 6 trucks will miss it, it does make quite a bit of sense that they were racing so aggressively farther towards the mid-pack area, as you had a lot of competitive trucks trying to make their way through the field because of the randomized starting grid. There's urgency along with it, only a 40-lap race. Bottom 6 trucks do not make it into the feature. While it is unfortunate to see so many trucks races end already after just about 12 laps of green flag racing, it does make quite a bit of sense with so much on the line in just such a short event. And well, for an update on the drivers who are not going to make the All-Star race, the 42 of Hocevar, 3 of Jordan Anderson, 20 of Brandon Jones, 15 of Sam Mayer, and 46 of Chandler Smith have all DNF'd. The interesting thing about that is that only leaves one position on track left to be contested for, as the 40, 29, and 09, and actually the 24 truck as well, are all damaged. So the final transfer position is going to come down to a battle most likely among these 4 damaged race trucks. That, I guess, has kind of simplified the battle for the final transfer position. It was quite a hectic battle, but I guess you could say it got sorted rather quickly. But this does have to be a sigh of relief for quite a few drivers, knowing that they only have to outrun one truck that is still on the racetrack. And so the pace car hits pit road once again. Cameron Haley, the veteran of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, leads the field into the Geico restart zone. And there is the green flag with just 11 laps to go in stage number 1 here in the Pennzoil All-Star Open. You can see already the 24 truck of Justin Haley is very far off the pace, farther in the back of the field, as the 00 of Cameron Haley gets a great advantage on the restart. Here comes Gio Scelzi down to the inside of Brett Moffitt, challenging for the 3rd position. As well, we have the 45 and 54 trucks battling side by side, those two being the teammates at Nice Motorsports. The 50 truck slides up into the 45. Brett Moffitt gets turned around in the tri-oval back in front of the field and gets hit by the 11 of Spencer Davis. The caution flag is out once again. An awful lot of aggression seen early on in this All-Star Open event. The field now races back to the caution flag, as the 00 currently holds the advantage above the 54 of Ryan Unziker. Look at this run, though, that Unziker makes on the bottom of the racetrack. Through turns 3 and 4, they'll be side by side back to the line. It is the 00 holding the advantage above the 54 of Ryan Unziker, and the 26 of Chase Purdy actually threw himself up into that battle. Cameron Haley is still the race leader above Ryan Unziker, Chase Purdy. Todd Gillen raced his way all the way up to 4th, and Tony Stewart all the way to 5th. And I know that the 54 and 00 trucks have spent a lot of time out front, but it is definitely looking like the 38 and 14 trucks are definite favorites to win this open event. And everyone's just going for everything they can get at this present moment. You can really tell also that the field randomization, instead of having qualifying, has really made everyone extremely aggressive to get up towards this front of this field, and cautions are already breeding cautions. But at this point, we're starting to run out of trucks. But coming off of turn number 4, Gio Scelzi pushes up into the 45 of Brett Moffitt, sending Moffitt into the spin cycle through the front straightaway grass, and just nowhere to go for the field, right up in front of the 11 of Spencer Davis. Davis rams right into him. A little bit of damage on the 92 of Terrio right there, and the 19 of Derek Kraus. Tim Richmond threads the needle right there, gets clipped a little bit by the 45 truck, but it looks like the number 11 truck's day is done. And here's the onboard from the number 35 truck of Tim Richmond. You see right up in front of him, there goes the 45 truck back up into the field, and the 11 truck of Spencer Davis, and the C's part right up in front of him. Well, it's hard to believe, but I think every DNQ driver has already been determined, because I don't think there's a chance they're going to get that number 11 truck back out on track. The 09 of Stefan Parsons dropped a lap down because of having to come down pit road for some damage repair from that previous accident he was involved in, but he is still out on the racetrack and has just passed the 11. So even if the 09 truck DNFs from this point forward, he will make the All-Star race, because it definitely doesn't look like that 11 truck is going to be rolling in tonight's event. You know, in comparison to the All-Star Open that occurs in the NASCAR Cup Series, where just a few drivers advance, this race, 18 out of 24 drivers were going to make it out to participate in the All-Star race, and yet they're racing more aggressive than they ever would in the All-Star Open in the NASCAR Cup Series. As already we have a definite 5 trucks out of the race, and it looks like the 11 truck will also soon be retiring, which means that we already know the 18 drivers which will be added to the starting grid of the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race for later tonight's 80 lapper. And so the number 11 truck of Spencer Davis has officially recorded a DNF. That means the 6 trucks that will not make the All-Star race are Spencer Davis, Carson Hocevar, Jordan Anderson, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Chandler Smith. That was decided much quicker than I think anyone anticipated. We have just gotten to halfway in the All-Star Open race, and we already know everyone who's going to be competing in the Pennzoil All-Star Race. I should also mention that from this point forward, you may be asking yourself, well, what if we get another accident and quite a few other trucks DNF? But they will make the All-Star race if they finish above 18th position. Teams are allowed to take out their backup trucks to start the All-Star race. They obviously will have to drop to the tail end, but they will most likely finish at the tail end of this All-Star Open event, and so it really won't have much of an effect on their starting position as it would have been regardless of them going to a backup truck. Lights are off on the pace car this time by. We're going to restart with just 5 laps to go in stage number 1. And remember, if you take home this stage number 1 victory, that is $10,000 in the pocket. And so the pace car ducks on the pit road once again. Let's see if we can get some green flag racing in to finish out this stage number 1. Cameron Haley leads the field into the Geico restart zone. And there is the green flag with just 5 laps to go in the first stage. Already 6 trucks have DNF'd, and we already know that the trucks that are running at the moment will be competing in the All-Star race later tonight, so the battle for the moment is for the $10,000 up for grabs at the end of these 5 laps. Battle now side by side for second. Chase Purdy down to the inside of the 54 truck of Ryan Unziker. He looks like he's going to be able to take over the second position as the 00 truck washes up the racetrack. 5 trucks under a blanket right now for the lead. Haley and Purdy battle side by side at the line. It was Haley that time by. Tony Stewart trying to make his way through the middle. Free wide for the lead. Stewart and Purdy make contact as the 00 and 26 trucks run side by side down the backstretch. Gio Scelzi trying to make it work all the way down on the bottom. 00 and 26 once again side by side through 3 and 4. They are running so intently right now you'd think it was still the pace lap as there was contact farther back between the 75 and 56 trucks. Todd Gillen ran a great line through 3 and 4 off the top side. 09 truck back onto pit road as the 26 of Chase Purdy has rocketed himself into the race lead. Purdy out in front of this field in the 26 for GMS Racing as the 00 of Haley's dropped down to second. Stewart and Gilliland battle for the third position. Here comes the 00 getting a run off the high side coming off of the 4th corner. Tony Stewart, though, with a run on the 00 now on the bottom. Stewart and Haley battle for second with just 2 laps to go in stage number 1. 00 truck backing up just a little bit. Here comes Gillen. He loses the front end. And now the 00 backed up his entry to turn number 1 and gets a great run down the backstretch. Using that high side momentum. Going to try and do it again through 3 and 4. And the high line is the go line at the moment. Haley will clear Tony Stewart off the high side of turn number 4. Chase Purdy sees the white flag in stage number 1. $10,000 up for grabs as Stewart and Haley now battle for second position once again. Chase Purdy trying to run away with the race lead. Now through 3 and 4 for the final time. Here comes Todd Gillen down to the bottom of Tony Stewart. He's going to take over the third position, but Chase Purdy is going to win stage number 1 here in the All-Star Open as Derek Kraus gets turned around. Tim Richmond takes a hard hit up into the outside wall as the field races to the green and white checkered flag. More trucks piling in. I believe that was Danny Bone making contact. Chase Purdy is your stage number 1 winner in a very eventful stage number 1, which has featured already 3 crashes. Cameron Haley takes second spot, just barely losing out on that stage battle to Chase Purdy. Todd Gillen takes over third. Timmy Hill raced his way all the way up to 4th. And Tony Stewart in the 5th position. And here's what happened coming off of turn number 4. 19 truck a little bit slow coming off of the 4th corner. 92 truck of Terrio holding great momentum, and these two just fill up the same area of space, tried to fit 2 trucks into one hole essentially. The 19 truck gets turned around off the front end of the 92. Terrio turns back to the right to try and miss him, but there was Tim Richmond. So then the 35 and 92 trucks slide up into the outside wall. Richmond hits pretty hard with the front end, same with the 92. Mike Marlar avoids this accident. And then here comes the 29 truck of Danny Bone, really with nowhere to go. Goes down to the inside, then looks back up to the outside. And there was the 35 of Tim Richmond. Pretty heavy damage on the front end of the 29 truck of Danny Bone. And needless to say, after this crash, we're going to have quite a few trucks going to backups for the All-Star race later tonight. And so Chase Purdy, with his stage victory, will pocket $10,000. And I have to say that if this race was any longer, we might run completely out of race trucks, as we've already had 3 large crashes, including one flip of Sam Mayer. It's been a very eventful race so far, and this is just the qualifier. Coming up, we have the feature event, 80 laps, $500,000 on the line for the victory. But at the moment, there's $100,000 on the line, whoever can pull off the win in these next 10 laps. And if we've already been tearing up this many trucks for 10 grand, just imagine what these folks remaining will do for 100,000. Well, how about this? The 29, 19, 92, and 35 trucks are now all out of the race as well. That is 4 trucks that are definitely going to backups for the All-Star race, because they have made the show, but they definitely need a new truck to run it. Remember, by the way, that Stefan Parsons is still in this race in the number 09 for Phoenix Racing. He is 2 laps down at the moment, but looks like he is going to finish in 14th position as long as he can keep that truck on the racetrack. Let's hope that with the All-Star race being twice as long, probably a little bit more experience in the field, some Cup drivers as well, we can get more laps completed under green, because this has been a bit of a wreck fest so far. But then again, we all know from trends of the NASCAR Cup Series, the open race is typically more violent than the All-Star race itself anyway, and that's because these drivers are kind of desperate to ensure themselves of a starting position. And in this case, these are drivers who didn't really see the spotlight very much this season, especially a driver like Chase Purdy. Taking home the stage win, just pocketed $10,000 as a shot up in front of him of getting $100,000. Pace car ducks on to pit road once again. The 26 truck of Chase Purdy, the stage number 1 winner, leads the field into the Geico restart zone. And there's the green flag for the 10-lap shootout in the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Open. Down into turn number 1, the field heads with the 26 truck of Chase Purdy getting a good advantage on the restart. Here comes Timmy Hill down to the inside, taking over the 3rd position off of Todd Gilliland. Down the back straightaway, getting a run now on the 00 of Cameron Haley for 2nd. Clips the apron just a little bit with his left side tires, drops back. Now to the hands of the 38 and the 14 of Stewart, but Stewart loses the front end coming off of turn number 4, now jumps up to the outside as here comes the 00 of Cameron Haley back up to the top side of the 26. Going to try and carry that high line momentum through turns 1 and 2. Makes that line stick. Gets the run off of the 2nd corner and slips right by the 26 of Chase Purdy. Cameron Haley back into the race lead as Timmy Hill now trying to take over 2nd as the 26 truck hits the apron. Chase Purdy losing a lot of track position quickly. Timmy Hill up into 2nd. 38 truck of Todd Gillen slow off of turn number 4 right there. Got a little bit loose as the 75 truck of Parker Kligerman just closed the door on the 21 of Zane Smith. Here comes Timmy Hill trying to get that highline momentum on the 00 of Cameron Haley. Trying to get up side by side with him. He is there. A great line through turns 1 and 2. Going to try and hold that momentum once again through 3 and 4. Couldn't quite do it. As the 75 truck makes contact with the outside wall and gets clipped by the 66, Kligerman goes around. Caution flag waves once again as Kligerman gets that truck corrected. Racing back to the caution flag. It was the 00 of Cameron Haley, your race leader, above the 56 of Timmy Hill, the 38 of Todd Gilliland, the 50 of Gio Scelzi, and the 26 of Chase Purdy, who dropped all the way down to 5th. And it looks like down the back straightaway, the 75 truck tries to enter high and just enters a little bit too high, gets up into the marbles and makes contact with the outside wall, messing up his exit of turn number 4. And it just so happens that the 66 truck of Mike Marlar was coming right off the corner when the 75 truck bounced down. Those two collide, and the 66 truck turns into the 75 of Kligerman, sending him around down the front straightaway as a means of just catching the 66 truck instead of spinning it down to the inside. Kligerman spins around on the front stretch, grabs a gear, and gets back going. And that was surprisingly our least violent crash of the night so far, but this sets up a very, very crucial late race restart. And also, you just have to imagine what this $100,000 bonus could mean to a driver like Timmy Hill, setting in second position, driving for his own equipment, his own organization, and is running with a one-race sponsorship deal from the title sponsor of the series, Camping World. What it would mean for that organization to get $100,000 from a victory such as this, it would be massive for upscaling their operations for 2022. All right, so the lights are off on the pace car this time by. We are going to go back green with just 3 laps of racing remaining. And remember, we can go into overtime if necessary. But at the present moment, we are down to 14 trucks running, 13 on the lead lap. That means that nearly half of the starting grid for this open event is not running at the present moment. But $100,000 up for grabs at the conclusion of these next few laps. As if this race hasn't been wild already, we're set up for a very, very explosive conclusion. And the pace car hits pit road once again. Cameron Haley, who has practically dominated this race, leads the field into the Geico restart zone once again. And there's the green flag with just 3 laps to go here in the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Open. 00 truck did not quite get the restart that he wanted. Here comes Timmy Hill down to the bottom. Through turns 1 and 2, Timmy Hill makes the move, and Hill is out in front of this field. A phenomenal restart, but now he has to deal with probably the fastest truck of tonight's race. Just has not had the track position. That is Todd Gilliland in the number 38 as Haley drops back. Timmy Hill used his truck right there to take the air off the 38 truck. 2 laps to go. Timmy Hill is out in front of this field. He's got Gio Scelzi running him down, the pole sitter from the Bristol Motor Speedway dirt race. Cameron Haley's dropped down all the way to 5th, now battling side by side with Tony Stewart for that spot. Here comes the 50 truck. Gio Scelzi with a bit of a run. Looks down to the inside, though, gets a little bit loose into turn number 3. Timmy Hill is out to almost a half a second advantage as the battle for second intensifies. That's a perfect opportunity for Hill. White flag is out in the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Open. Hill in his very own number 56 truck leads this field by about 0.4 of a second as the battle for second spot continues. We got a truck up into the outside wall. That was the 21 of Zane Smith. 38 truck has a great run. Gilliland with the high side momentum, trying to carry that through turns 3 and 4 right up to the tailgate of Timmy Hill. But at the start-finish line, Timmy Hill is going to win the Pennzoil All-Star Open here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Timmy Hill has secured $100,000 for his victory here tonight in the Pennzoil All-Star Open. Definitely making his new sponsor of Camping World proud. Timmy Hill pulls off a fantastic late restart move on the 00 of Cameron Haley to win the All-Star Open. And just imagine what that team is going to be able to do with $100,000 in the pocket now. That is going to be very major for that organization coming into next season. And remember, they now have the opportunity to claim $500,000 if they can pull this off once again in the All-Star race. And so there was no shortage of incidents in tonight's Pennzoil All-Star Open, but that opened up the door for a Cinderella story. Timmy Hill has secured the victory in the All-Star Open and $100,000 of prize money along with it. Todd Gilliland put on a great run there on the final few laps of the race, had probably the best truck of anyone, but did not have very good track position after drawing a bad starting position. He brings it home in second spot. All he had to do was finish top 18 to transfer into the All-Star race anyway. Gio Scelzi, the dirt racing ringer, brings it home in third position. A great run there. Cameron Haley, after sort of dominating tonight's Open, brings it home in fourth position. Tony Stewart with a top 5. Parker Kligerman, after spinning out, brings it home in sixth position. Pretty impressive rebound there. Stage number 1 winner Chase Purdy with a 7th place finish. Ryan Unziker, who led some laps earlier on. The 54 truck for Nice Motorsports gets 8th. Zane Smith 9th. And Mike Marlar rounds out your top 10. That's actually Hill Motorsports double top 10 with Timmy Hill first and Mike Marlar in 10th. From there, we have Will Rogers in 11th, Justin Haley 12th, Brett Moffitt 13th, Stefan Parsons 14th. Then all the trucks that DNF'd but will still qualify for the All-Star race: Danny Bone, Derek Kraus, Austin Theriault, and Tim Richmond. So I would have to take a guess, honestly, that 12th all the way down to 18th you see on that list at least will probably be going to backup trucks. Then from there, we have the 6 trucks that will not be participating in the All-Star race. Spencer Davis in the number 11, Carson Hocevar in the 42, Jordan Anderson in the 3, Brandon Jones in the 20, Sam Mayer in the 15, and Chandler Smith in the number 46 have all missed the field for the All-Star race. And fortunately, there was no injuries in any of the crashes that we saw here in tonight's Open. And so a big congratulations to Timmy Hill and Hill Motorsports. I'm sure that $100,000 will be a huge impact on that race team this season. That's why we saw such aggressive racing, is when you dangle $100,000 in prize money for finishing in first position in front of so many teams that could easily do a lot with that much funding, it does lead to rather aggressive racing. But through the madness, Timmy Hill was the one to capitalize, and that will be a massive benefit to his family-owned organization. And so now, folks, after the dust has settled following the very, very eventful Pennzoil All-Star Open race, all the teams who needed to get a backup truck out have gotten their backups out, and here is the starting grid for the feature event. The 80-lap inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race with 42 starters, with the race winner capable of taking home $500,000. David Reagan has drawn the pole spot for tonight's feature event. Timothy Peters drew second position. Brendan Poole in third. Dawson Cram will roll off in the fourth position. Stuart Friesen in fifth. James Buescher, the 2012 Series champion, will roll off in sixth position in yet another Nice Motorsports truck numbered 04. Ben Rhodes will roll off from the seventh position. Kyle Busch will roll off from the 8th position. You have to put Kyle Busch up there with one of the odds-on favorites for tonight's victory. Casey Mears, the runner-up in points, will roll off from the 9th position, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out your top 10. From there, Chase Briscoe, the runner-up in NASCAR Cup Series points. Because of his win at Mansfield, he is running the 53 truck here tonight, the RCA Chevrolet, and will roll off in 11th position. TJ Bell in the 44 truck for Nice Motorsports will start from 12th spot. Ty Gibbs in the 18 for Kyle Busch Motorsports will start from 13th position. Max McLaughlin, following his victory at the Homestead Miami Speedway, that's what locked him into tonight's event. He will start from 14th, Christian Eckes 15th, after scoring 2 wins at Fontana and Indianapolis Raceway Park. Ty Dillon will start from the 16th position. Denny Hamlin, the Richmond race winner, driving the 5 truck for Phoenix Racing, will start from 17th. The number 2 truck of Sheldon Creed will start from 18th position. He is moving on to NASCAR's top level to drive the 26 for GMS Racing next season. Matt Crafton, your record-tying 4-time NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion, in his final race with Junior Joyner atop the pit box, he will roll off from the 19th position, chasing after that $500,000, which would be an even sweeter way to end his tenure with crew chief Joyner, fresh off of winning their 4th championship together. Then we have Austin Hill. He will roll off in the 20th position. He's moving up to NASCAR's Xfinity Series next season. Ryan Truex in the 33 truck will start from the 21st position. Landon Castle is driving the 55 truck for tonight's event. This is because Ty Majeski was not eligible for the All-Star Open nor the All-Star Race, but Landon Castle had the victory at the Nashville Superspeedway, so the team opted to put Castle in the 55 truck. He drew the 22nd starting position. Scott Legassi Jr., Watkins Glen race winner, roll off from 23rd, and Grant Enfinger rounds out the top 24, those being the drivers who have won a race from the 2021 season and were randomly drawn for starting position. From there, the finishing order of the Pennzoil All-Star Open determines the starters from 25th all the way down to 42nd position. So for a quick recap of those, it goes Timmy Hill with that $100,000 bonus from winning the Pennzoil All-Star Open, then Todd Gillen, Gio Scelzi, Cameron Haley, Tony Stewart, Parker Kligerman, Chase Purdy, who won $10,000 from his stage win, Ryan Unziker, Zane Smith, Mike Marlar, Will Rogers, Justin Haley, Brett Moffitt, Stefan Parsons, Danny Bone, Derek Kraus, Austin Terrio, and Tim Richmond, rounding out your starting grid. The 6 drivers who did not make the field are Spencer Davis, Carson Hocevar, Jordan Anderson, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Chandler Smith. So remember, odds are the start of this race will be a little bit more calm, hopefully at least, than the start of the All-Star Open race. Quite a few of these teams are already on to their second truck of the night. But even knowing this is a longer race, more experience among the field, quite a few Cup Series drivers, that does not mean that they will be any bit less aggressive. And that's because each stage win here in the All-Star race can land you $20,000, and if you take home the race victory, that's $500,000, $500,000 to the race winner. So they definitely have the cash incentive to put it all out on the line here tonight. And so to get this spectacle underway, let's send it down trackside once again for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
I'm up in the center of 1 and 2 up here, so as you're going down the backstretch into 3, it may appear to me that they're inside, but they may be just shy of that. I'll really try to stay on top of that all night, bud.
And so the pace car hits pit road. David Reagan, the drawn pole sitter, leads this star-studded field onto the front straightaway. Flagman has the green flag in hand in front of this sold-out crowd. And there is the green flag for the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race. 42 Camping World trucks roar down into turn number 1 with David Reagan getting the advantage on the start. Now the battle shifts to the second position. Brennan Poole to the inside of Timothy Peters. Now he gets put into the middle and cuts right up in front of the 87 of Timothy Peters. Battle now for second between Brennan Poole and Stuart Friesen. David Reagan is clear with the lead as Reagan will lead lap number 1 here at Las Vegas. 52 truck of Friesen held second spot at the start-finish line. Down to turn number 1, Friesen tried to clear the 30 truck. Those two run side by side through turns 1 and 2. John Hunter Nemechek down to the inside now of the 60 of Casey Mears. But Mears powers past him down the back straightaway as the battle continues for second. 30 truck of Poole down to the inside. Looks like he's going to take the spot as the 52 truck drops back on the exit of turn number 4. You can see the field running in groups of 3 wide racing well behind the leaders. Right there we have the 12 truck of Christian Eckes in the middle of a sandwich of McLaughlin and Dawson Cram. Now slides up in front of the 44 truck of TJ Bell coming off of the second corner. Your new 4-time champion Matt Crafton dropping his way through the field. But the 38 truck of Todd Gilland is trending in the right direction. Now slicing through the trucks that were already qualified for this event. Denny Hamlin gets up into the outside wall in the 5 truck for Phoenix Racing. As we have a battle out in front for this race lead. Here comes the 30 truck up to the outside. And the 52 of Friesen down to the bottom. Reagan is clear of Brennan Poole, but now battles with the 52 truck and the 4. They're going 3 wide for the lead down to turn 3. 4 truck clips the apron, drops back, and David Reagan rockets back out into the race lead. The 30 truck gets up a little bit too wide, loses momentum coming off of the 4th corner. You can see a big wad of trucks running behind them, nearly 4 wide down to turn number 1. Went the 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek, who's been bottom feeding so far. Up top, you see the 53 truck of Chase Briscoe getting that top side working. He's a dirt track racer. That's a familiar sight for Briscoe to be up there. Cup Series drivers trying to make their way through this field of Briscoe and Hamlin. As we already documented, Hamlin made contact with the outside wall. But speaking of Cup Series drivers, here comes Kyle Busch. The record holder for race wins in the Camping World Truck Series goes down to the inside of Casey Mears battling for second. As David Reagan still holds this lead, Mears powers past Kyle Busch, though, for the second spot down the back stretch. Busch, in fact, got loose off of turn 2 and drops down to 5th. Here comes Ben Rhodes for the 3rd position. Rhodes easily takes that spot away off of Stuart Friesen. Now cuts down to the apron to try and reel in the 60 of Casey Mears. But at the moment, the 17 of David Reagan holds a comfortable lead, but that 60 truck of Mears reeling him in. Now takes a look down to the inside. 17 truck slipped up coming off of turn number 2. And Mears inches ahead for the moment. And Casey Mears is out in front of the field here at Las Vegas. The 99 truck of Ben Rhodes has taken over the second position. Reagan down to third. Now Ty Gibbs battles his team owner Kyle Busch for the 5th position as the 17 truck still dropping back just a little bit. The 52 of Stuart Friesen now battles him for the 3rd position, but drops back a little bit coming off of turn 2. 17 truck held high side momentum. Now looks back down to the inside, the 99 of Ben Rhodes. But Rhodes was able to clear him down to turn 3. 51 truck of Kyle Busch really using that high side momentum. Looking farther back through the field at the moment, the 38 truck of Todd Gilliland is setting 3 wide in the middle of James Buescher and Matt Crafton, and he has driven his way up to 14th. And look at Enfinger and the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs work their way around the 51 of Kyle Busch. The open race really cleaned off the top side of the racetrack, especially through turns 1 and 2, and we just saw the 98 and 18 trucks really get great momentum using that top side. Here comes the 99 truck up the outside of 60, takes a really wide angle through the tri-oval. As down into turn number 1, the 60 of Casey Mears with about a 0.3 of a second advantage above the 99 truck. Ben Rhodes searches up to the top side for a little bit of grip and momentum coming off of the second corner. Multiple lines are available here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Progressive banking and a worn-out surface leads to multi-groove racing. Right now, you can see the 99 truck cornering just a little bit lower than the 60 of Casey Mears. Mears out in front of this field at the moment. We have pretty much the entire field running within about 5 or 6 seconds. In fact, the back markers running about only 7 seconds back as the battle for the lead continues down the back stretch. The 99 of Ben Rhodes uses that high side momentum to work his way past the 60 of Casey Mears. Mears down to second, the 17 truck in third position. The 52 truck went wide on the exit of turn number 4. On the front straightaway, here comes the 60, looking up to the outside of the 99 truck now. Going to try and use that high side momentum. 99, though, slides up the racetrack just a little bit, takes the air off the front end of the 60 of Mears as Kyle Busch battles down to the inside of the 17 truck of David Reagan. And through turns 1 and 2, the 51 truck of Kyle Busch has just taken the third position off of his teammate Ty Gibbs, but Gibbs battles him back up on the outside. Now through turns 3 and 4, 51 truck has cleared the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Running down to the inside goes the 98 of Grant Enfinger. Battling for position, the 18 truck as the number 50 of Gio Scelzi has been turned around down the front straightaway and gets missed by oncoming traffic. The caution flag now waves for the first time in the All-Star race on lap number 14 as Kyle Busch has made his way up to third. Now looks down to the inside of Casey Mears for second. Battle side by side through turns 3 and 4. Coming back to the caution flag, Kyle Busch takes over the spot as Ben Rhodes will lead the field back to the caution flag. Ben Rhodes is your race leader above the 51 of Kyle Busch, 98 of Grant Enfinger, 60 of Casey Mears, and number 18 of Ty Gibbs. Of your top 5, 3 of them were Championship 4 participants just a couple weeks ago. Here's what happened to the 50 truck of Gio Scelzi. Coming off of turn number 4, 50 truck backs up just a little bit. 21 was hard into the throttle. These two make contact as the 50 went down, the 21 went up. And Scelzi gets turned around down the front straightaway. Very lucky not to be impacted, especially by the 40 truck right there of Will Rogers. And slides up in time for Mike Marlar, as well as the 54 truck of Ryan Unziker to miss him. The dirt racing regulars aren't quite having as good of a time in the All-Star race as compared to what they were achieving in the All-Star Open, as right now Scelzi, Marlar, and Unziker are the bottom 3 runners in the field. But we have pit stops on lap number 15. Ben Rhodes leads the field down pit road. And absolutely nobody stayed out, so that means we are going to have a very congested pit road as I'm already hearing contact being made. And coming out of the pits, Ben Rhodes is the first truck off above the 51 of Kyle Busch. the 60 of Casey Mears, and it appears to be the 5 truck of Denny Hamlin besting the 98 of Grant Enfinger. And have a look at this. Todd Gilliland now sets in 8th position following the pit cycle, and he had one of the fastest trucks on track during that first, actually somewhat long green flag run. Wasn't very long, but it's one of the longest of the weekend so far. But that 38 truck is certainly one to watch. Also, don't forget about the number 16 truck of Austin Hill. He actually won here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway back in the spring race, the points event. Dominating performance there, and he's been more or less a master of mile-and-a-halfs this season. Kind of dropped off later on in the season. However, Hattori Racing Enterprises always has been fast on these mile-and-a-halfs. Austin Hill moving on to Richard Childress Racing next season. Be a big send-off victory if he could claim the win here tonight. Lights are off on the pace car this time by. We are more than halfway through stage number 1. And remember that if you score a stage victory, that is $20,000 for the stage winner. But the race winner gets $500,000. And so now we get to see if the field is going to settle back into another bit of a green flag run, or if it will get to being as calamitous as the Pennzoil All-Star Open race was. As the field exits turn number 4, pace car hits pit road. Ben Rhodes leads the field onto the front straightaway and into the Geico restart zone on lap number 18. And there's the green flag. He has 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch right on his tailgate as the field roars down to turn number 1, but here comes Casey Mears down to the inside of Kyle Busch. Mears and Busch side by side coming off of the second corner. Denny Hamlin now reeling in the 51 truck as well. Through 3 and 4, though, Kyle Busch holds the top side momentum and clears the 60 truck once again for second. Denny Hamlin gets dragged back using the side draft by the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger. I believe a truck might have hit up against the outside wall. That would be the 29 of Danny Bone. But Grant Enfinger has taken over the 4th position. Timothy Peters up into 5th. Also, here's what happened. The 21 truck of Zane Smith committed to coming down pit road, but had Danny Bone to his inside. So Smith came into the pits, but the 29 truck got clipped and slapped the outside wall. Fortunately, no worse accident from there. Down the back straightaway, here comes the 60 of Mears to the inside of the 51 truck of Kyle Busch, but once again, Busch holds that high side momentum. Now the 98 and 60 trucks battle side by side for the 3rd position, and the 60 of Mears is clear for that spot as well. You can see the multi-groove racing really coming into effect now as that high side has rubbered in through turns 1 and 2. Look at that run the 52 truck got up to the tailgate of the 87. Going to try the same line through 3 and 4. It's not quite as good in turns 3 and 4 as it is in 1 and 2. And look at that 38 truck of Todd Gilliland. He has the leaders in his sights, as there's a great battle going on for 2nd position. Kyle Busch holding that spot above the 60 of Casey Mears. Mears now looks up to the outside. Gets the door closed on him by the 51 truck. Enfinger holding on to the 4th position. Here comes Mears back down to the bottom. But once again, Kyle Busch holding that high side momentum. Going to try and use up that line coming off of turn number 4. And clears him down the front straightaway. But Mears not quite giving up yet, trying to side draft 51 truck down into turn number 1, but Kyle Busch holds the advantage for 2nd position through turns 1 and 2. The 38 of Todd Gilliland is going to drive his way up into 4th position up on the outside. Side drafting now the 60 truck of Mears back, as Grant Enfinger pulls down to the inside of the 51 of Kyle Busch, makes it a Thor Sport 1-2 here at Las Vegas. Enfinger takes over that 2nd spot. But are they good enough to hold off that 38 truck of Gilliland, who's carved his way from 26th all the way up to 4th in just 24 laps? That 99 truck, though, of Ben Rhodes is hooked up at the moment, holding that race lead. The 09 truck of Stefan Parsons also has found some speed. He currently resides in 10th position, running side by side with Ty Gibbs. Your new 4-time champion, Matt Crafton, as well, racing his way up into the top 10. Denny Hamlin works his way up to the outside of the 60 of Mears. Hamlin trying to take over the 5th position. Looks like he is going to be able to get it. Now Todd Gilliland all over the tailgate of the 51 truck of Kyle Busch, as here comes the 98 truck of Enfinger down to the inside of his teammate Ben Rhodes for the race lead. Now through 3 and 4, they run side by side. 98 truck gets the advantage coming off of the fourth corner. That backs up the 99 of Ben Rhodes just a little bit. Kyle Busch down to the inside. It was side by side at the line. Kyle Busch is scored in the second position and now clears the 99 truck through turns 1 and 2, trying to reel in the 98 of Grant Enfinger. Up on the outside, we have the 99 still battling side by side with the 38 of Todd Gilliland, as Hamlin and Peters go side by side through turns 3 and 4. Gilliland trying to make this move work down on the inside of the 99 of Ben Rhodes. He gets the third position, as here comes Kyle Busch for the race lead down to the inside of the 98 of Grant Enfinger. Enfinger's got the preferred outside line through turns 1 and 2. But Kyle Busch holds dead even with him. 98 truck's going to have the top side momentum down the back straightaway, though. Not quite enough to clear him. And right there, pulls up in front of the 51 of Kyle Busch. Enfinger holds the lead for the moment. Todd Gilliland, though, applying pressure all the way up in the third position. Denny Hamlin has positioned himself well in the 5th spot. Timothy Peters set 6th, Ty Gibbs in 7th, and Matt Crafton working his way up through this field. 16 of Austin Hill trying to crack the top 10 at the moment. Up towards the front, though, here comes Kyle Busch, drafted his way back down to the inside of the 98 of Enfinger, couldn't hold the bottom line. As now the 38 of Todd Gilliland jumps up to the outside. He's got a run on the 51. Looks to the top side down the front straightaway, couldn't quite do anything with it. As you look farther back through the running order, down in 30th position is the 00 of Cameron Haley. Not quite having a good run going after a pretty good run in the open race. Here comes Kyle Busch with topside momentum as the battle for second continues. It's Rhodes to the inside of Gilliland, and Kyle Busch going for the lead. Side by side through 3 and 4 for the top spot as the lanes draw even. At the start-finish line, it is going to be Grant Enfinger holding the lead. Here they go down into turn number 1. Just a few laps remaining in the first stage. $20,000 on the line. 98 truck of Enfinger is going to hold the high side momentum with some help coming from the 38 of Todd Gilliland. Gilliland up to second. Now looks down on the inside for the lead. Couldn't quite do anything with it as the 98 truck powers past using high side momentum. Down on the bottom goes the 38 truck of Gilliland, running in second position, exactly where he finished in the open. Gets that run through turns 1 and 2 and is actually making it work on the middle line, but backs off just a little bit as he gets loose off of the second corner. Kyle Busch back up into second. Incredible racing for the top spots here in the Pennzoil All-Star Race. As here comes the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes up to the outside. 38 truck of Todd Gilliland takes his line away. About, 6 trucks under a blanket for the race lead with just 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Through turns 1 and 2, Kyle Busch and Todd Gilliland battle side by side for the second position. Now down the back straightaway, Todd Gilliland still trying to side draft that 51 truck back, and Kyle Busch sails it off into turn number 3 and assumes the second position once again. Grant Enfinger is going to see the white flag in stage number 1 as Gilliland lost a lot of momentum coming off of the fourth corner. Kyle Busch looks up the racetrack trying to get a run on the 98 truck of Enfinger down the back straightaway for one last time in this stage. Coming into turns 3 and 4, the 98 truck still holds the advantage. Kyle Busch looks up to the outside trying to get a run. Not very much up there for him as the 99 truck draws closer at the start-finish line. It is Grant Enfinger winning stage number 1 here in the Pennzoil All-Star Race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Already quite a bit of green flag racing here in the Pennzoil All-Star Race. Much different compared to the Open, but Grant Enfinger is now $20,000 richer after taking home the stage number 1 victory in a great battle above the 51 truck of Kyle Busch. Ben Rhodes in third position, Todd Gilliland dropped down to 4th, and Ty Gibbs rounds out your top 5. Also Hamlin setting in 6th spot. And so now at the end of stage number 1, it looks like Grant Enfinger is going to lead the field down pit road. You know, it's also important to mention that certain drivers like Tony Stewart the 55 of Landon Castle, the 53 of Chase Briscoe, they've kind of gone nowhere, honestly. They're still mired right around the mid-20s. Off of pit road, Grant Enfinger gets off with the race lead, but Ty Gibbs bests his boss. Out of the pits, Gibbs off in second, Kyle Busch in third, the Phoenix Racing truck of Denny Hamlin in fourth, and it looks like Casey Mears has gotten the fifth position. The 38 of Todd Gilliland had a very slow stop and lost about 5 spots in the pits. Also, Timmy Hill, your Pennzoil All-Star Open Race winner, is currently scored down in 34th position. Not having a very good run going on so far. Now, if I had to take a guess, saying this is probably going to jinx the race, but after the conclusion of 38 laps, there is not a single truck that is DNF'd. Just one truck is a lap down. That is the 21 of Zane Smith, who pitted earlier, as we saw in that near incident that he caused with Danny Bone. The 21 truck came down pit road for a flat tire. But beyond that, this race has been fairly calm, which I'm very impressed to see, especially considering the fact that the field is about double the size of what it was in the open race. But as we've mentioned before, the desperation is a lot different in the open race compared to the All-Star race itself. In this race, the desperation comes out in that final 10-lap segment when you got $500,000 dangled up in front of you. And now the pace car ducks onto pit road. Grant Enfinger, your stage number 1 winner, leads the field onto the front straightaway and into the Geico restart zone, and there is the green flag on lap number 38. Enfinger gets a good jump above the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs as the field roars down into turn number 1. Kyle Busch was a little bit slow on the restart as well. In fact, Busch slides up the racetrack just a little bit. Hamlin down to his inside, but here comes Ty Gibbs, side by side with Grant Enfinger for the race lead. Through turns 3 and 4. Highline momentum prevailing right now for the 98 truck. Here comes Hamlin. Makes it 3 wide for the lead, and Enfinger gets the advantage off of the 4th corner. Kyle Busch now gets boxed up by Ty Gibbs as the 98 truck shoots out with a big advantage. What a move by Hamlin to stick the field 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. As down the back straightaway, the 18 truck rolled great topside momentum, peaks down to the inside. The 98 truck of Enfinger couldn't quite make the move stick. As look at Christian Eckes. We didn't talk very much about him at the start of this race. He has now made his way up into 5th with a good pit stop, racing side by side with Casey Mears, but Todd Gilliland through the middle, making up track position, passing your new 4-time champion Matt Crafton. Now jumps up to the outside, trying to get a run on the 12, but the 12 truck closed the door. The 18 truck just clipped the outside wall right there. It looked like he got very close. Now peeks back down to the inside, gets side by side with the 98 truck of Enfinger, pushes up the racetrack just a little bit, forces Enfinger to use more of the track than he probably wanted to. At the line, it is Ty Gibbs to lead the lap. We are now halfway in the overall race distance. They're going 4 wide, farther back down to turn number 1. The 31 truck barely clips the apron. That's Tony Stewart up on the outside of that mess. Casey Mears going 3 wide as well up in front of this field. Here comes Kyle Busch down to the inside, the 98 of Grant Enfinger. Trying to take over that 2nd position. Hamlin now runs side by side with Ben Rhodes as Todd Gilliland has started to drop back. Kyle Busch currently holds the 2nd position. ThorSport trucks up on the outside. Hamlin backs off early through turns 1 and 2, trying to get the run on exit. That's a process called backing up the corner. It worked a little bit for him. He managed to clear the 98 of Grant Enfinger. Now has his sights set on the 51 of Kyle Busch. Those two are teammates in the Cup Series, but not here in the Camping World Trucks. Kyle Busch driving for his own Kyle Busch Motorsports, and Hamlin racing for James Finch's Phoenix Racing. Down to the inside goes Kyle Busch, trying to take over the race lead off of his teammate, Ty Gibbs. And remember, Ty Gibbs is the grandson of his NASCAR Cup Series team owner, Joe Gibbs. Same situation for Hamlin as well. So those 3 all interconnected very tightly as Ty Gibbs gets the advantage through turns 3 and 4. Hamlin battling his Cup Series teammate. Takes a wide arc through the tri-oval, and Kyle Busch currently holds that 2nd position. 41 of Dawson Cram got up into the outside wall on the front straightaway. As the top 4 trucks right now are all Toyota. Grant Enfinger has taken over the 3rd position off the 5 truck of Denny Hamlin. Now looking for second on the 51 of Kyle Busch. But Busch sails it off into turns 3 and 4 on that high side, trying to build the run on the 18 truck. Ran out of real estate just a little bit right there. As look at Parker Kligerman. He raced his way in through the All-Star Open. Same situation for the 38 truck. But remember, Kligerman spun around in the open race. That's the same truck, in fact, and he's racing that thing up into the top 10. Here comes Kyle Busch with the outside line momentum on the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs. Now through turns 3 and 4, the 51 truck sails it off into the corner, and Kyle Busch is out in front at his home race track in Las Vegas. Kyle Busch leads this field. 98 truck of Grant Enfinger trying to take over second. Hamlin up on the outside, hoping to follow suit and take third, but he drops back in line behind the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs. Todd Gilliland and Christian Eckes now battle side by side. Busch left the top side open, but now cuts up to the outside to try and block the number 98 truck. Ty Gibbs works with his boss of Kyle Busch to send the 51 truck out in front of this field. Now the 98 truck gets boxed up just a little bit, gets forced 3 wide as Christian Eckes jumps down to the bottom of the 5 truck of Hamlin and the 98 of Grant Enfinger. There was contact between those two. Now through turns 1 and 2, barely Hamlin looks like he might be able to squeeze up in front of the 98 truck, but the gap was not there. Now it just barely is, but it wasn't quite. As Grant Enfinger almost got up into the outside wall right there on entry to turn 3. Losing track position up on the outside line right there. Ran out of real estate as there was contact between the 60 and 99 trucks. The battle for the lead continues. It's Kyle Busch out in front above his teammate Ty Gibbs, but Gibbs all the way down on the bottom. Tried to take the short way around. Got a little bit loose down on the inside. Hamlin up into third spot. Gilliland back to fourth. Peters up into the outside wall. And Christian Eckes holding on to fifth. There is action all over this racetrack as now Eckes and Ben Rhodes battle side by side. Coming off of turn number 4, it is Rhodes getting the advantage. Right now, Kyle Busch trying to run away with this lead above his teammate Ty Gibbs, but here comes his Cup Series teammate Denny Hamlin down to the inside of Ty Gibbs, trying to take over second as there is a hornet's nest farther back. Look at this, Timothy Peters almost going 4 wide down to the bottom. And the battle for second will be won by Denny Hamlin right there as he powers past the 18 truck. Gibbs looks like he pushed up the racetrack just a little bit when the 5 truck cleared him. That allows the 38 of Todd Gilliland to the bottom. And Todd is going to be able to take over that third position. Not quite. 18 truck fighting back on the outside. You can see that highline momentum. And the 18 truck powers past him down the back stretch. Momentum is a very big thing here in the Camping World Truck Series, especially at a track such as Las Vegas. That's why it puts on such great racing. We have 2 veterans of the NASCAR Cup Series out in front of this field, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. And likely soon to be a NASCAR Cup Series driver, Ty Gibbs, setting in third spot. And now through turns 1 and 2, the 99 and 38 trucks battle side by side for fourth. Here we go once again. Ty Gibbs looks down to the bottom of Denny Hamlin. Through turns 3 and 4, trying to get a twofer as he looked his way down to the inside of Kyle Busch. They still run side by side for second, Gibbs and Hamlin. Hamlin trying to use that high side momentum at the line. It was too close to call, actually. Scoring gives it to Ty Gibbs for holding second. Up on the outside, though, turns 1 and 2, the high side is favorable. Here comes Hamlin. Almost sucked the 51 truck of Kyle Busch around, and Hamlin goes out to the race lead. He clears the 51 truck of Kyle Busch into turn 3. Hamlin is out in front of this field. 18 truck of Ty Gibbs trying to take over second, and that has brought the rest of the pack up to the leaders. Casey Mears up into this battle, as well as Enfinger and Rhodes. Once again, Kligerman into the mix, and Stuart Friesen as well. There goes the 38 truck of Todd Gilliland down to the bottom. Gilliland's going to take over the third spot just barely. Here comes Kyle Busch back down to the inside of his teammate, Denny Hamlin. Or should I say Cup Series teammate Denny Hamlin. These two drive for opposing teams in the Truck Series, KBM versus Phoenix Racing, and Kyle Busch is back in the lead once again. Todd Gilliland holds on to that third spot right now above Ty Gibbs, but Gibbs sails it off into the first turn up on the outside. Lost a little bit of momentum right there as the 38 truck cut across his nose. Hamlin back up to the outside. Look at that run he gets Down the back straightaway, using that high side momentum. Going to try it again through 3 and 4. Gets up into the marbles just a little bit. There's a lot more lap time up on the high side through turns 1 and 2 than there is available through 3 and 4. And that backed up Hamlin enough to where he's getting put 3 wide. Down to turn number 1. Here comes Todd Gilliland down to the bottom. And it looks like Ty Gibbs is going to get the advantage out of that deal. From the middle, slides up in front of Hamlin and secures the second position. Look at Chase Briscoe carving his way through this field. We all know that Briscoe and Hamlin, by the way, are not very big fans of each other. I wonder if that will carry over into tonight's Truck Series race. Ty Gibbs, though, trying to run up on the outside line and get the run on the 51 truck of Kyle Busch. And look at Hamlin. Once again, top side through 1 and 2, gets the run on the 38 truck. But Ty Gibbs side drafts his boss, Kyle Busch, coming into turn 3, backs off a little bit on the low line. Here comes Hamlin once again. Look at the top side working for him through 3 and 4 now. Hamlin trying to open up a new racing line through the 3rd and 4th corners, as he is really making that top side work. Currently resides in 4th position now, as here comes Ty Gibbs, wall riding up to the outside of Kyle Busch. But now Busch closes the door on him. Todd Gilliland down to the inside, a former KBM driver. A little bit of contact right there between teammates Briscoe and Eckes through turns 3 and 4 as Ty Gibbs races very intensely with the 38 truck of Todd Gilliland for second, and that is exactly what Kyle Busch wants to see to potentially extend his race lead and get this Stage 2 victory. Right there, though, look at this. The 38 truck slides up the racetrack, tried to cut off the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Gibbs going to look back down to the bottom through 3 and 4. Going to try and charge the truck off into that corner, and he makes it stick. Ty Gibbs back up into second with a power move through turns 3 and 4. Chase Briscoe trying to carve his way up into the top 5. Hamlin currently sets in the 4th position. A great battle up in front of this field here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here comes the 38 truck back up to the outside, but he gets a little loose coming off of turn number 2. Allows Hamlin back down to the bottom. These two roll side by side down the back straightaway. Mears up into the mix. Remember that the draft is a big factor here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There is some strength in numbers, but the 5 truck of Hamlin takes over the 3rd spot down the front straightaway. KBM 1-2 at the moment, as Ty Gibbs still trying to reel in Kyle Busch. And you know what? Ty Gibbs reminds me a lot of a young Kyle Busch. If you go back to Kyle's early years in the Lowe's Chevrolet in the Busch Series, his performance there reminds me a lot of the aggression and sheer talent that you see out of Ty Gibbs in this 18 truck. Hasn't been too successful overall in the Truck Series, but if you look at his part-time Xfinity Series campaign, it's been phenomenal. As he is reeling in Kyle Busch with about 5 laps to go in stage number 2 here at Las Vegas. They have a nearly 3/4 of a second advantage above the 5 truck of Denny Hamlin. Although Hamlin is doing a good job at reeling these two in, if he can get that top side rolling once again, especially through 1 and 2, he could easily cut that advantage by quite a bit. Right there, the 18 truck bobbled. Denny Hamlin rolling that top side, trying to take advantage of it. But here comes the 38 as well, up into the mix. And how about Kligerman? The spin and advance in the Pennzoil All-Star Open, and now in the All-Star Race. He is running in the 5th position. Here comes Ty Gibbs back to the bottom of the 51 truck of Kyle Busch. Bit of a hornet's nest back there with Mears and Enfinger as they go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4. It is Ty Gibbs back to the point. But Kyle Busch not giving up, though. Side drafting, coming off of the 4th corner, holding that high line momentum. At the line, it is Kyle Busch to lead the lap. Gilliland up into 3rd. Going to try and insert himself into this mix through turns 1 and 2. 51 truck gets the advantage. Bit of a push coming from the 38 of Todd Gilliland. And Gilliland takes over the 2nd position off the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs by working with the 51 of Kyle Busch. A very strategic move that he just made coming off of the 2nd corner. Here comes Todd Gilliland down to the inside of the 51 of Kyle Busch. Hamlin back down to the bottom of Ty Gibbs. Down the inside through 1 and 2, the 38 truck gets a little bit loose, getting sucked around by the 5 of Hamlin. Ty Gibbs gets the advantage of second position down the back straightaway. Kligerman looking for a way around the 38 truck as there was contact right there through 3 and 4. Looked like Gillen just moved the 18 truck out of the way, was tired of playing the games with him, and is trying to set his sights on the 51 truck of Kyle Busch with 2 laps to go in stage number 2. And also trying to get yourself into position for that 10-lap dash for the $500,000. Right now, Kyle Busch with a very comfortable lead above that 38 truck of Todd Gillen. Here comes the 98 of Enfinger trying to reel him in. 53 of Briscoe going to try and go 3 wide down to the bottom as he has actually made his way around Denny Hamlin. And now the 18 of Ty Gibbs going back down to the bottom of Grant Enfinger for third. Kyle Busch will see the white flag in stage number 2. Remember, if he wins this stage, the money will go to charity. But here comes the 38 of Todd Gillen, reeling him in with a good run through 1 and 2, but it might not be enough. Now down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The 51 truck of Kyle Busch holds about a 3/4 of a second advantage above the 38 of Todd Gillen. And coming off of the 4th corner, Kyle Busch is going to win stage number 2 here in the Pennzoil All-Star Race. It's also worth noting that the number 55 truck of Landon Castle has dropped out of the race due to a mechanical failure. He will not go 2 in a row in the postseason exhibition races, but Kyle Busch is your stage 2 winner, picks up $20,000, which will be going to a charity of his choice. Phenomenal battle, really, for the stage number 2 victory. 38 truck of Todd Gillen gets second position, 18 truck of Ty Gibbs in third, 98 of Enfinger in fourth, and the 53 truck of Chase Briscoe made his way all the way up to fifth, just up in front of the 5 truck of Denny Hamlin. Those two have been inseparable no matter what series. And we had drama after the caution flag flew. Under the cool-down lap following the end of stage number 2, look at the 92 truck list down the racetrack. Hooks the 88 truck of Matt Crafton in his right rear quarter panel up into the outside wall. Those two are battling for 27th position. And then the 00 of Cameron Haley gets hooked up into the outside wall by the 24 of Justin Haley. No relation between those two, different last names, spelling even. However, a large crash under the caution flag here at Las Vegas, and I'm sure that's going to add to the drama we'll see most likely after this race, because I'm sure Crafton wouldn't be too happy about that. Really, no one involved in this one would be satisfied about it. It was a crash happened after the caution was already out. And so it looks like no one's going to be hitting the pits except for the trucks that were involved in that crash after the caution flag was already flown. In fact, the only truck that is coming in is the 00 of Cameron Haley. Terrio, Crafton, Haley, and the few others that got some slight damage out of it will stay on the racetrack. And by the way, if there's going to be any exact area where sparks are probably going to fly on this upcoming restart, it's probably going to be the battle for 5th, considering that you have Briscoe and Hamlin lined up nose to tail. And so the 00 of Cameron Haley has actually DNF'd following that contact up into the outside wall under the caution flag period accident. That meaning that 2 Starcom Speed Station trucks are actually going to finish last and second to last because Landon Castle had that mechanical failure, and now the 00 truck is out of the race. But it's not all gloom and doom for that organization. The 53 truck sets 5th, and the 12 in 7th position. I believe Tim Richmond is still on the racetrack, not quite having a great run. Also, Ryan Truex sets in 24th position, but Richmond sets down in 34th, but he is still running. Lights are off on the pace car. This time by, we're going to go back to green flag racing with just 10 laps to go to decide this one. The inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There is still 40 trucks running, 39 on the lead lap, and whoever wins at the conclusion of these next 10 laps will get $500,000. One of the biggest single race payouts in Camping World Truck Series history, if not the biggest. Typically, an entire race purse is about $500,000 in the Truck Series. This is just to win it. And so the pace car ducks onto pit road. Kyle Busch, the 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and winningest driver in the Camping World Truck Series history, leads the field in the Geico restart zone. And there's the green flag for the 10-lap dash to the finish. Here comes the 38 truck of Todd Gillen looking up to the outside. Down into turn number 1, now goes down to the bottom. Side by side with the 51 truck of Kyle Busch, trying to force him up the racetrack. Enfinger goes down to the bottom of the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs, trying to take over third, couldn't quite do it. and Todd Gillen trying to take away that race lead off of Kyle Busch. They're going to battle side by side through 3 and 4. And Gillen forces Kyle Busch to lift off the throttle. Gillen is your race leader. 9 laps to go now. $500,000 right up in front of that 38 truck if he can hold this race lead. Kyle Busch, though, trying to reel him in. Same for Ty Gibbs. And looking farther back, we have Chase Briscoe, who's been passed by the 5 truck of Hamlin surprisingly cleanly. And that 38 truck just needs to run qualifying laps from here, but he bobbles a little bit through 3 and 4. Kyle Busch rolls great high side momentum, but does run out of racetrack just a little bit. 18 truck of Ty Gibbs trying to close the gap up to the 51 of Kyle Busch, as he has to battle with the 5 truck of Hamlin. Kyle Busch loses a little bit of momentum through turns 3 and 4. 18 truck of Ty Gibbs gets the high side momentum. Now looks up to the top once again through turns 3 and 4. A little bit more difficult to run that line through there. And where has Chase Briscoe come from? He's re-cleared the number 5 truck of Denny Hamlin. Briscoe in the 4th position, as here comes Ty Gibbs down to the bottom. He backs off a little bit too early. In fact, almost loses it on the entry to turn 1. And Chase Briscoe is going to drive his way up in his 3rd position. Kyle Busch sets in 2nd. The 38 truck tried to break his draft down the back straightaway. I think all that did was cost Gillen a little bit of momentum, as Gillen gets a little loose right there through turns 3 and 4. 51 truck of Kyle Busch is going to be all over his tailgate down to turn 1. Looks up to the outside now. Through 1 and 2, Kyle Busch is going to get the advantage, it looks like, as Gillen tries to run him wide coming off the corner. Kyle Busch holds the lead once again. 6 laps to go. Here comes the 53 truck up to the outside of Todd Gillen, trying to use that very high line momentum. Side by side down the front straightaway goes Briscoe and Gillen battling for 2nd. Now the battle shifts to 3rd position, as the 5 truck once again battles the 53 of Briscoe. But here comes Briscoe with that high side momentum off of turn number 2. 3 wide goes Hamlin, as the 53 truck tries to crowd the 38 truck down the racetrack. Kyle Busch driving away with the advantage, as the battle for 2nd intensifies. At the start-finish line, the gap from 1st to 2nd, as Gillen is once again clear for 2nd, is about 3/10. Kyle Busch runs the very low line through 1 and 2. Gillen gets the run up on the outside. Kyle Busch makes a rare mistake, allows Gillen back up to the top side, nearly clear of him. They're going to run side by side through 3 and 4. Gillen trying to get the advantage once again, but Kyle Busch drives right past him coming off of the 4th corner. Parker Kligerman up in the 4th spot, as Hamlin holds the 3rd position. Briscoe has dropped back down to 5th. 38 truck trying to run that top side, getting great momentum off the outside line once again. 1 and 2 seems to be Kyle Busch's weak spot, as Gillen forces him down the racetrack. Once again, going to try and use up that high side momentum through 3 and 4. It just doesn't quite work as well through 3 and 4 as it does in 1 and 2. As now Hamlin battles back down to the inside of Todd Gillen. The battle for 2nd once again heating up with just 2 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Kyle Busch out in front of this field, as Kligerman is going to get the run off the high side, drive his way potentially into 3rd spot. Through 3 and 4, couldn't quite do anything with it. The white flag will be displayed on the front straightaway here at Las Vegas. Ben Rhodes down to the bottom of the 75 truck of Kligerman. Kyle Busch just has 1.5 miles left to hold off the field. Here comes Todd Gillen up on the outside, going to try and reel in the 51. Kyle Busch with a pretty large advantage coming down the back straightaway. Here comes Todd Gillen, one last attempt at it. Kyle Busch holds the advantage. Here comes a run from the 38 truck. Down to the bottom, they're going to be side by side. Coming to the line, it's not going to be enough. Kyle Busch is going to win the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. How fitting that the winningest driver in Camping World Truck Series history would win the inaugural event at his home track in Las Vegas. $500,000 going to a charity of his choice. That will be a very, very monumental donation. Now, folks, I wouldn't quite call the winner much of a surprise, but I would say that the finish definitely was, because that was quite the battle coming down to the start-finish line. I thought for a moment Kyle Busch might have given that one up. And here was the run that Todd Gilliland made through turns 3 and 4 on the 51 truck of Kyle Busch. You see, Busch gets just a little bit squirrely through 3 and 4, has to lift right there. But I think Todd Gilliland might have lifted as well. He probably would have had to just try to drive through Kyle Busch to make this one happen. Honestly, I think I would have for $500,000. But down on the inside, you see Gilliland just about 1/10 of a second away from the 51 truck, and Kyle Busch pulls off the victory here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And so a big surprise for a winner. Kyle Busch pulls off the victory, but it was a very, very close finish. Coming back to the start-finish line, Todd Gilliland almost pulled off the victory, 92 one-thousandths of a second, almost 1/10 away from the victory and $500,000. That's honestly kind of typical of Todd Gilliland's season. He was always close, but just couldn't quite break through. But you have to really give him credit for just how well he did today, outrunning the driver finished second in Cup Series points, Chase Briscoe. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch nearly outran him. It was a really, really big showing for Todd Gilliland and a definite proof of the level of talent that driver has. Hamlin brought it home in third position, Ben Rhodes in fourth, Parker Kligerman in fifth position. Spun in the open, got the thing back going, brings home a top 5 finish in the All-Star race. Chase Briscoe brought it home in 6th position, Timothy Peters in 7th, Casey Mears in 8th spot, Christian Eckes in 9th, and Grant Enfinger rounding out your top 10, and Tony Stewart, who stayed very quiet all throughout tonight's race, the 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, brings it home in 11th position. Looking back through the field, we have Friesen, Gibbs, David Reagan, Ty Dillon, Dawson Cram, Brett Moffitt, Stefan Parsons, Kraus, Creed, TJ Bell, Austin Hill, Timmy Hill, the open race winner, climbed his way all the way up to 23rd. Brennan Poole, Ryan Truex, Justin Haley, Gio Scelzi, and Scott Lagasse Jr. compose your top 28. From there, we have James Busher, Ryan Unziker, Austin Theriault, Chase Purdy, Tim Richmond, John Hunter Nemechek, Mike Marlar, Danny Bone, Will Rogers, Max McLaughlin, and Matt Crafton are all of the finishers on the lead lap, which is 39 contenders. Then Zane Smith was the only truck to finish one lap down. Cameron Haley and Landon Castle were the 2 trucks to DNF. Very, very interesting to think about how the open race was extremely calamitous, with only 13 trucks finishing on the lead lap and 14 trucks finishing in general. With this race, 39 trucks finished on the lead lap, only one lap down, and 2 DNFs, only one being for contact. Definitely a great contrast between the open and the All-Star race. Even though the winner might have been a NASCAR Cup Series regular, the win was hard-fought, and the money goes to a good cause. And by the way, let's not forget the fact that Kyle Busch also won stage number 2, so that's $520,000 going to charity. That's tremendous. And so, folks, that does it for our broadcast of the inaugural Pennzoil All-Star Race here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We hope that you've enjoyed it, and that is also our final broadcast of the 2021 NASCAR season. It's been a very fun ride among all of the NASCAR Cup Series and NASCAR Camping World Truck Series races, and very fitting, honestly, for one of the greatest drivers of the modern era to take home the final victory of the year. You know, at this point, with yet another win on his career, you have to imagine that Kyle Busch is running out of storage space for all those trophies. But anyway, it was a very deserving win, and it was an action-packed night here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where the local fans got to see their local hero take home the checkered flag. And it's been a fun year of coverage here on the Speed Station of the 2021 NASCAR season. We've got an awful lot of new content coming up very, very soon, in which I'm sure that you'll find quite a bit of enjoyment out of. It's going to be a jam-packed year of content, and one that I'm personally looking forward to quite a bit. So folks, get ready for new content coming very, very soon. But first, let's congratulate Kyle Busch and Kyle Busch Motorsports for yet another Camping World Truck Series win and $520,000 donated to charity.